Labour has always been about what is possible. When we created the National Health Service, we were told it could not be done. The doctors and consultants said, this cannot work. It was possible, and we made it happen. And when the Tories were dismantling the steel mills and the coal mines and the shipyards, they said, you cannot build things here in Scotland now. You cannot modernise without the pain of mass unemployment. We said it is possible, and we have brought Scotland closer to full employment than ever before, and we are still building ships on the Clyde and the Inversythe. And now the nationalists try and tell us that it is impossible to create a modern, prosperous Scotland without first tearing ourselves apart from our friends and family and work colleagues in the rest of Britain. But it is possible, and we will make it happen. I spent last Friday presenting certificates to 140 youngsters from the Lothians. Waiting on their higher results, they had given up most of their summer to attend courses and subjects from economics to engineering, courses designed to improve their chances of going to university. Almost every one of them will be, as I was, the first in their family to have a chance at higher education. I simply cannot find the words to describe to you the sense of enthusiasm, of promise, of possibility that there was in that room. This was no private scheme. Labour created that widening access programme, but the potential it is unleashing comes from within the youngsters themselves, and it will shape this country. Politics always has to be about that. Politics always has to be a bridge to our future. You know, we have many, many achievements to be proud of, but to win back the people's trust that we share their hopes for the future, we have to do and promise more. We introduced free bus travel for pensioners, but what use is that if there is no bus service to your community, or if you cannot manage to get on the bus when it comes? That is why we must strengthen the powers of local communities to get the bus services they need. Our central heating programme, a huge success, but what use is that if fuel costs mean you cannot turn the system on? That is why we need to press harder on social tariffs for gas and electricity. We re-established apprenticeships. There were only a handful left in Scotland in 1997, and we increased that over time to 35,000. But an apprenticeship place advertised here in East Lothian can still attract 300 applicants. You've not done enough. If you have the qualifications and the desire, you can get a place in college or university. Every youngster should have the same right to an apprenticeship place if that is what they want. We passed the most progressive homelessness legislation anywhere, but we did not build enough houses to make it work without setting one person's hope and need against another's. We should empower councils and housing associations to take whatever reasonable action they need to address it, including buying new houses, which builders cannot sell if that is what it takes now, including new powers, if need be, to find land to build houses if that is the barrier to progress. In every area, our past achievements are not something we can dwell on, but something we must build on. The people we seek to serve will never be satisfied with us, because they themselves will always want to do more, to do better, and they expect us to make that possible. But that is how it should be. It must be our conviction that fairer is always possible, safer is always possible, that better is always possible. Last year, the SNP convinced too many people that they would address their concerns and support them to achieve the things they want. But they are letting those people down. They are squeezing the concessionary travel we introduced. They have cut households out of the central heating programme. They are abolishing whole apprenticeship schemes. They have cut the funding available to build houses. Their promises on student loans, on police numbers, on class sizes, on first-time buyers, all broken. Their policies on local tax and funding schools and hospitals are in ruins. Just up the road from here in Tranent is probably the most modern primary school in the whole of Scotland. Built by Labour. So good, Alex Salmond came out to open it. But now, the SNP's budget means the parents there are seeing the classes in that school going up in size, not down. And additional support for those who need it is under threat. The SNP are not taking forward the progress we made. They are undermining it. They are not just breaking promises, they are breaking the promise of the next generation. And they are not just letting people down, they are letting Scotland down. How then do we convince Scotland that our vision for the future is their vision for their own communities? Well, firstly, we rediscover our shared purpose and our common voice. Whatever disagreements there have been in the past between Labour MPs and MSPs, or Labour MSPs and Labour councillors, they have to now be put to bed. We cannot go back on decisions made in the past or things said or not said. If we do not move forward together, we are letting the people down. Then we must focus on the concerns and hopes of the people we seek to represent. Their preoccupation is not constitutional change, and nor should it be ours. It was right to challenge Alex Salmond to put the independence question quickly and get it out of the way, but he's not going to. We do not fear the verdict of the people of Scotland. But the SNP referendum they intend to bring forward is rigged. The question is rigged, and the timetable is rigged, and we should not support it.